Walk into an Apple store and they'll gladly sell you a $1,200 iPad Pro. Walk in the Best Buy and they'll push a $900 Samsung tablet like it's the only choice you have. But here's what nobody tells you. Right now on Amazon, there are 5 tablets that outperform both of these for less than half the price. We're talking sharper displays, bigger batteries, faster charging, and features Apple removed, then started charging $129 extra for. These tablets don't have fancy ads or fruit logos, which is why they stay hidden. But trust me, they're absolute monsters for the money. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which models they are, why they've been ignored, and which one you should buy. By the end, you'll either thank me for saving you hundreds, or you'll be slightly annoyed because you bought an overpriced tablet last month. Now starting with a tablet that's so good for the price, it almost feels like cheating the system. And I mean that literally. This thing makes you question every premium tablet you've ever seen. The Xiaomi Poco Pad at just $230 is what happens when a company wakes up and decides, what if we put actually useful flagship features in a budget tablet instead of removing stuff? So you get a massive 12.1-inch IPS display with a crisp 2.5K resolution and a buttery 120 Hz refresh rate. It's the kind of screen that makes you double take because you assume this must cost at least $500. Throw in Dolby Vision, surprisingly strong 600 nit brightness, and suddenly your Netflix binges look like they've been upgraded for free. Under the hood, the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, plus micro SD expansion, something Apple treats like contraband, handles pretty much anything you throw at it. Productivity? Smooth. Games? Totally fine unless you're pushing the highest settings. Then the absurd part, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that actually does last 11 to 12 hours and 33 watt fast charging that gets you to 100% in about 2.5 hours. 4 Dolby Atmos speakers, a headphone jack they didn't delete for a cleaner design, and a 570-gram aluminum body that feels way pricier than it is. For under $250, this is the biggest screen for money cheat code on Amazon right now. But if you want something smaller, lighter, and honestly faster, this next one is the Poco Pad's overachieving little sibling, the one that studied harder, hit the gym, and then came home with straight A's for no reason. The Xiaomi Pad 7 at $320 is the perfect balance of size, power, and price, exactly what most people need but manufacturers never give. The 11.2-inch 3.2K IPS display with HDR10, Dolby Vision, and a ridiculous 144 Hz refresh rate is absurdly smooth. Gaming feels like you suddenly leveled up your reflexes. And even at 400 nits, visibility is solid indoors and outdoors. The real flex is the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 with up to 12 gigs of RAM. This thing performs like a tablet that should cost $500 plus. Multitasking? Easy. High-end games? Completely playable. Overheating? Barely happens. You get 128 or 256 gigs of storage, a legit 13-megapixel rear camera that shoots 4K video, quad speakers with Dolby Atmos, and a lightweight 500-gram aluminum body that feels premium the moment you pick it up. For around $300, this is the no-brainer daily tablet for 90% of people. But if you're someone who draws, writes, or does creative work, this next one brings something no other tablet in this price range can touch. It's the kind of feature that makes you stop mid-scroll and go, wait, why doesn't everyone do this? The Huawei MatePad 11.5 at $350 features a special paper matte display. Not a gimmick, but a genuine game changer. The 11.5-inch, 2.8K, 144 Hz screen still looks vibrant and sharp, but the paper matte coating kills reflections and makes writing feel like actual paper instead of slippery glass. If you've ever tried taking notes on a regular tablet and hated that skating on ice feeling, this is the fix. The Kirin 9000WE with 8 gigs of RAM gets everyday tasks done with zero frustration. Gaming is fine with some settings adjustments. You get 128 or 256 gigs of storage, a legit 13-megapixel rear camera that shoots 4K video, quad speakers with Dolby Atmos, and an 8,800 mAh battery good for 8 to 9 hours. At 510 grams with a slim metal body, it feels premium without weighing you down. If you're a student, artist, or creative, this might be the most satisfying writing experience you'll get for under $400. Now for the one that's going to make you raise your eyebrows, because yes, you are about to see an iPad on a budget tablet list. And no, I haven't lost my mind, hit my head, or accepted bribes from Tim Cook. The 2025 iPad at $380 is the rare moment when Apple remembers regular humans exist. The 11-inch liquid retina display is sharp, bright, colorful, and everything you expect from Apple, except the part where it's not laminated, which means more glare and that tiny gap effect when drawing. Not ideal for artists. But here's where this thing absolutely bulldozes the competition: performance. The A16 Bionic chip with 6 gigs of RAM destroys every other budget tablet in raw speed. Apps open instantly, games run flawlessly, video editing feels shockingly smooth. It just works, and it works fast. You get 12MP front and rear cameras with 4K support, loud stereo speakers, a Touch ID button, and the usual Apple Pencil and keyboard support. Battery life is the only meh area, at 5 to 6 hours. But you also get Apple's unmatched software support and ecosystem, so this thing stays good for years. For $380, this is pure performance value with a couple small compromises. But if you want mind-blowing display quality, the kind you have to see to believe, our final tablet is like discovering your neighborhood diner secretly employs a Michelin star chef. The Honor MagicPad 2 at $440 packs a 12.3K OLED display that embarrasses tablets twice its price. Deep blacks, insane contrast, stunning color, and IMAX Enhanced certification for movies. The 144 Hz refresh rate makes everything look liquid smooth. Then it gets better. A Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage gives you full flagship performance. High-end gaming? Easy. Multitasking? Effortless. Editing? No problem. Cameras are solid with 4K video support, and the 8-speaker surround sound system turns this thing into a portable home theater. The massive 10,050 mAh battery goes all day, and the 66-watt fast charger gets you full in about 2 hours. And the curveball? Honor often includes a keyboard and stylus for free, which no one else does at this price. Premium build, useful AI features, and that unbelievable OLED display make this the true flagship killer under $500. So there you have it, 5 tablets that the big brands definitely don't want you to know about. 5 devices that prove you don't need a Fruit logo, a celebrity commercial, or a pro label to get flagship performance. Whether you want the biggest screen for the smallest price, the best all-around value, a tablet built for artists, Apple's raw power without Apple's premium, or a display that looks like it belongs on a $1,000 device, you've now seen the real options. The question is, which one are you getting? Or did I miss a hidden gem that deserves to be on this list? Drop your pick in the comments. I read all of them, even the ones where you yell at me. If this video saved you money, headaches, or from buying yet another overpriced tablet, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. I've got more brutally honest tech guides coming that will keep your wallet safe and your setup smarter. And if you're still here, I know what you're really looking for. Tap the next video on screen to see the best budget phones under $200. Trust me, that list is wild.